TV commercials. Small roles, big rewards.
Let's roll, Dad.
You know their faces,
I love getting recognized.
but you rarely hear their names.
I'm a master of disguise.
We're revealing the actors in some of your favorite commercials.
Fabulous!
Plus, you won't believe how some Hollywood A-listers got their start.
Big news from Brown's Chicken.
Don't even think about fast-forwarding. 30 Seconds to Stardom, commercials' most famous faces, begins now. Even the biggest stars have to start somewhere, and commercials are often the first rung on the ladder to Hollywood success. Recognize this soon-to-be paparazzi target in a cake commercial from 1994? Yep, it's 7-year-old Lindsay Lohan, just 5 years before landing her star-making role in The Parent Trap.
It's kind of hard to believe, you know? Because, I mean, I was doing commercials, but that doesn't compare to a movie.
Amazing.
Back in 2003, 17-year-old Leighton Meester was just a fresh face in this Acne wash ad.
I didn't know you were gonna be here.
4 years later, Leighton became Gossip Girl's Queen Bee.
Hey, what is this, Georgina?
Now see if you recognize Leighton's co-star in this 1997 spot.
This is how you make shake and bake. What? Shake it all crazy.
That's 4-year-old Taylor Momsen, shaking her moneymaker 11 years before her star turn as Gossip Girl's Rebel Without a Pause.
My mom's a good cook.
These girls all got their starts playing squeaky clean on screen. And this next commercial star is following in their footsteps.
Welcome to the Orbit Institute.
Watch out! This British babe is on a global mission to fight bad breath.
Dirty mouth.
She's 28-year-old model-turned-actress Farris Patton, and, spoiler alert, she's not really British.
Yeah, of course. Some people are a little disappointed when they meet me and they find out that I'm a California girl.
As a kid, when many girls wanted to be movie stars, Farris fantasized about a life in commercials.
Are you taking me, Mom? Yeah.
I always wanted to buy whatever they were selling, and I liked all the special ways that they had. You know, you just don't brush your teeth in a commercial like this. You have like a special way of doing it, and that just intrigued me. I don't know why, I was just a weird little kid, I guess.
Farris followed her dream. At 18, she became a print model. Soon after, she began getting bit parts in TV spots.
So when I model, I have my signature eyebrow raise look, and this is how it goes. But I prefer to do a commercial over modeling any day.
In 2010, the 27-year-old auditioned for the role of the iconic Gum Girl in a search that spanned 3 continents. 6 weeks and 5 callbacks later, Farris finally got the news she was hoping for.
I screamed,
Woohoo! For the California native, nailing the accent was the biggest challenge.
"Come on, Peanut!" The Orbit Gum Girl accent is very upper class. Now in stylish new packs, but not stuffy, not like Queen of England upper class.
Oh, hello, dog I don't know. Do you want to be my friend?
So here's how I would just say the word fabulous, just in everyday life as myself. Fabulous. Okay, now watch when I say it as the Orbit Girl. Fabulous! See the difference? It's huge.
Despite her fabulous new gig, Patton's husband Jimmy says she hasn't changed a bit.
She's still good old Farris, and if you ask any one of her friends, they'll all tell you the same thing.
No doubt Farris is faring well. She just won't talk dollars and cents.
Well, I can't say how much money I make. It's a very dirty question. But I can tell you that I do get a lifetime supply of gum.
Which means she's always got something to give back to her fans.
I always carry extra packs of gum in my purse because people come up to me off the streets and they'll usually say dirty mouth or fabulous. And then I hand them a pack of gum and they just think it's the coolest thing.
Appreciate that.
No problem.
Nice running
to
into
meet
you.
I love getting recognized. It's fun. I mean, I'm not gonna lie.
Not bad for a little girl with a big dream.
Fabulous!
This is a chunk of super soft bubble yum bubblegum. This is a loud thumping tube-humping boombox.
That's 13-year-old Leonardo DiCaprio in a 1988 bubblegum commercial.
Oh, the yum is the fun that never blows out. Big mouth busting bubble yum. Keeps it popping.
Leo wasn't quite famous, but he did have a following.
When I first started getting into commercials, everyone came up, hey, you're the Keeps It Poppin' kid, huh? And I'm like, yeah.
3 years later, DiCaprio got his break on the TV sitcom Growing Pains. The rest is box office history.
I don't know how it happened, but it happened.
Here's Ben Affleck pitching hamburgers circa 1989.
Yeah, this is Burger King.
9 years after this fast food spot, Ben wrote his way into the big time when he took home the Best Screenplay Oscar for Good Will Hunting.
I was amazed.
Big news from Brown's Chicken.
Hard to believe that's 27-year-old Steve Carell selling fried chicken back in 1989.
Quite frankly, the response has been better than we'd anticipated.
16 years later, Steve became the world's best TV boss on The Office.
Oh, yeah.
It took a while for Carell to work his way up the ladder, but just like our next commercial star, it's all in the timing.
His reputation is expanding faster than the universe. He is the most interesting man in the world.
I don't always drink beer, but when I do, I prefer Dos Equis.
Turns out the most interesting man in the world is Jonathan Goldsmith, a 72-year-old character actor who lives on a sailboat in Southern California. And this guy's a little more laid back than his celebrated alter ego.
I think where he prefers the nightlife and the clubs and the lounges, I prefer the silence, the tranquility of the sailboat.
Goldsmith's lifelong journey to commercial stardom began in the Bronx with a childhood lesson from his dad.
I was a good Jewish boy. I worshiped my father. I absolutely adored him. I miss him today. He said, some get it sooner, some get it later, but be prepared for that opportunity.
Goldsmith stumbled into acting at 19 after getting kicked out of Boston University.
I entered into a brief liaison with one of my teachers, whose husband happened to be head of the department. Shortly thereafter, I left the school. I don't know why.
For the next 4 decades, Jonathan earned a living as a bit player in movies and on TV.
Pretty soon, you're going to be looking at your guts in the dirt.
I played the bad guy all the time.
Well, I'm going to waste you right here.
That was about what I did for too many years.
Still in the 90s, work dried up.
The hair got gray, I got a little bit older, and the roles started getting smaller and smaller, and it was tough for me, and I got out of the business.
Goldsmith moved to Northern California to start a marketing company. But by 2001, Jonathan was itching for a comeback.
I went to Hollywood to resurrect a dead career, and I came down by myself. I slept in the back of a truck. I didn't have any money.
He was able to get a meeting with an agent named Barbara.
I met this beautiful little lady. Something just clicked.
He was hungry. He wanted to be back in front of that screen.
She said, how did they let you get away? And I explained the story, that I wasn't willing to hang in any longer. And she says, well, I'm going to hang in with you.
Barbara became Goldsmith's agent, and in 2006, she became his wife.
And Jonathan walked into my life and just knocked my socks off. It was immediate.
Terrific.
I think so.
Champagne.
Why not?
All right.
Barbara got her new favorite client an audition for the beer commercial, but Jonathan didn't think he fit the bill.
I said, she's cute, but she's nuts. This is a waste of time. This is wrong. They're looking for a Latino.
Turns out it was Goldsmith who was wrong.
Casting called and said, we really are pushing for Jonathan, but they'd like to go a little bit younger. And the only response I had was, how can you possibly be the most interesting man in the world and be young?
Barbara's persistence paid off. After 40 years in the business, Goldsmith became an overnight sensation.
Have you ever given a parking meter a ticket?
No, I get my change from parking meter. Thank you.
With love and a career-making role, Goldsmith is proof that good things come to those who wait.
My world has changed completely. Doors have opened to me that were never open. And I keep hearing my father's words, hang in, do your best, be ready.
Stay thirsty, my friends.
Can you recognize this child star in her 1999 commercial debut? That's 6-year-old Dakota Fanning. Just 2 years later, Dakota got her big break in the film I Am Sam with Sean Penn.
He's really fun to work with, yes.
There's nothing cheesy about Lord of the Rings star Elijah Wood in this commercial from 1992.
No way!
Because cheddar cheese makes all the difference.
Hooray!
That same year, 11-year-old Elijah had something to really cheer about. He landed the lead in the action-adventure Radio Flyer.
That is pretty amazing.
Do you remember the child star chewing the scenery in this 1985 cookie commercial?
Pull it straight out. I'll get to the bottom of this.
That's 11-year-old Seth Green doing his best Humphrey Bogart, 12 years before playing Dr. Evil's son in the Austin Powers trilogy.
Guess I got to the bottom of this.
These child stars all cut their teeth on commercials, much like this next young actor who's already making a name for himself in Hollywood. Meet Nathan. He's the golden-haired kid with the Midas touch, selling SUVs to soccer moms.
Just because you're a parent doesn't mean you have to be lame.
Now meet Riley Thomas Stewart, the 8-year-old rising star who brings Nathan to life. With a national ad campaign and 2 feature films under his belt, some say Riley could be the next Jaden Smith.
I don't know yet. I don't know what I'll be when I grow up.
Despite early stardom, this pint-sized powerhouse is pretty much like every other California kid. Riley lives with his parents and older sister 3 hours outside of LA, far from the Hollywood spotlight.
Yeah, I like to live out here because I have a humongous open space to do like whatever I want. I do have to do chores. I have to feed my chickens. I got food for you guys. Hey, Maggie.
At 4, Riley was bitten by the acting bug after watching his big sister go on auditions.
She looked like she was having fun, and I wanted to do it. What's good for her is good for me.
In 2008, the 6-year-old got his break. Riley played Jenny Garth's son on the series 90210.
When my first big role came up, I was like really nervous, but then when I did it, it was so much fun because I got to eat cereal in bed.
Turns out the kid was a natural.
Well, acting is basically like a big pretend game where you get to pretend with other people.
But Riley nearly missed the chance of a lifetime. In 2010, the hardworking actor was shooting a guest spot on the sitcom How I Met Your Mother when he got the call to audition for the car commercial. Luckily, Mom came to the rescue.
I said, hey, you know, I got my video camera. Let's give it a try.
Hi, my name is Riley Thomas Stewart, and I will be 8 in 3 weeks.
We actually just shot a tape in our hotel room. They agreed to look at it, and the rest is history.
The Nathan character wasn't too much of a stretch for Riley.
I imagine that Nathan would be a really cool kid, so he'd say the lines really cool. At any moment, I'm talking with my people, making things happen. My mom was really helpful. I couldn't have done it without her because she told me how to do the lines. I like to thank my mom. Lucky for me, my mom gets it.
The Toyota commercials made Riley a star.
Let's roll, Dad.
But his folks aren't about to let fame go to his head.
It's really important to us that Riley stays a real kid and stays grounded.
My life's changed from the commercials. Like, I've become a bit cooler at my school, and I've become, like, more confident about acting.
The confidence paid off. In 2011, Jodie Foster cast Riley in her feature film, The Beaver. Foster was so impressed, she recommended Riley for a role in The Lucky One, starring Zac Efron.
Yeah, I got along with Zac perfectly. We're practically like buddies.
Riley hopes to be just as lucky as his new pal, Zac.
I don't know what's next for me. It may be another movie or another commercial. I don't know. I hope to be acting to, like, a good age, and then maybe I'll do something else.
Coming up, bet you can't guess what actress donned leg warmers and a leotard for this vintage TV spot. Long before Cougar Town, 20-year-old Courtney Cox practiced giving girlfriend advice in this 1984 commercial.
Does your life change once a month because of your period? Still using pads? Let me tell it to you straight.
10 years later, Courtney struck TV gold when she landed on Friends.
Now that's something.
Do you recognize this Oscar-nominated actor? 29-year-old hunk Jeremy Renner. 8 years before his star-making role in The Hurt Locker. 23-year-old Denise Richards didn't have much to say in this 1994 spot. But 4 years later, the sexy actress had everyone talking when she steamed up the screen in Wild Things.
I had fun playing her. It was great.
These Hollywood hotties proved they were more than pretty faces. Our next commercial star hopes to do the same. Let's face it, sex sells. Case in point, these hot TV spots featuring seductive super negotiator Naomi Price.
You must be the new kid.
I am. I'm in the Name Your Own Price division.
Sachin Padilla, the actress inside the skin-tight catsuit, is a far cry from her vixen-esque alter ego.
Naomi Price is this tough, sexy, badass secret agent. I'm a 5th-degree black belt.
As am I.
But me, I'm like this bohemian, free-spirited little Pisces that just like draws hearts everywhere.
Padilla was born in the Philippines, where her last name is synonymous with movie star royalty.
My grandparents were basically like the Brangelina of the Philippine movie industry, which is crazy.
Sachin's granddad, Jose, starred in more than 100 films. He was also an Olympic boxer who fought in front of Hitler at the 1936 Games.
My grandfather quit boxing because he didn't want his face bashed in. It's vanity. It was very big in our family. We're kind of known for that.
Sachin moved to the U.S. when she was just 6.
I didn't know any English except for like sleepy and hungry.
After expanding her vocabulary, the aspiring actress followed in her family's famous footsteps.
I always knew I was going to go into show business because of my family. It just was always in the back of my mind.
Padilla honed her acting chops in a series of small parts in commercials and television shows.
Thank you.
Then in 2011, Sachin landed the role of a deal-making Uber agent in the TV spot that put her on the map.
And I went to the audition and I was thinking, no way, I'm so wrong for this. I did my first kick and it was like bones creaking. It was like tendons snapping.
But getting into character was a cinch compared with squeezing into that costume.
When you put that suit on, you can't help but feel like a superhero, but also like a naked superhero. You just feel naked. That suit is like liquid walking sex. It really is.
She needs a lot of powder to get into it.
It shows every piece of me that I didn't even know existed.
Sachin is more than just catsuits and karate kicks. The actress has plans for a career in showbiz.
Ready, and action.
Booking the Naomi Price role for Priceline, it sort of put me in front of a lot of people that may have never seen me. The exposure that I've gotten from it is, you can't buy that. I mean, it's exploded.
That's a cut!
Get set for a blast from the past. Do you recognize this stand-up comic?
How's everybody feeling tonight?
10 years ago, he was one of the most famous pitchmen on TV.
Do I know you? Are you that guy?
Give up? Well, here's a clue.
Dude.
He's Ben Curtis. And from 2000 to 2003, he was the reason millions of Americans bought Dell computers.
I was the Dell dude. And for some people, forever will be. It was insane. I was recognized every day, everywhere I went for 3 years.
The Tennessee native was just 19 when he landed the campaign. With the promise of fame and fortune, Ben dropped out of college to devote himself to his full-time gig.
No one ever expected it to be as big as it was. And then next thing I knew, I'd done 26 commercials. I was getting movie offers. I was up for Terminator 3.
Then suddenly, Ben's commercial career went up in smoke.
Who here has ever been arrested before?
In February 2003, Curtis was arrested for marijuana possession on the Lower East Side.
It was a sting, and they were trying to catch the dealer. So I was at the wrong place at the wrong time.
Some girls like getting arrested. Some girls are like, that's hot. You want to know a little secret, guys? Girlfriends hate it.
I remember the arrest very, very well. It was a monumental point in my life and career.
Curtis was charged with a misdemeanor and spent the night in jail.
It was everywhere. Dude, you're getting a cell. before I was even out of jail. I was really scared that my career was over.
The judge promised to dismiss the case if Curtis promised to stay out of trouble. But Ben wasn't off the hook yet. Within a month, he was out of a job.
It was like this huge bubble of fame, and then all of a sudden it was burst, and I had this oh moment, like, what do I do now?
Curtis was forced to wait tables to make ends meet.
I had no more income. No one would hire me. And then I was having to go up to tables and ask them, you know, what if they want salt on their margarita, and they're like, dude, oh my God, why are you waiting tables?
After a tough year, Ben resumed acting and appeared in a handful of off-Broadway plays.
I realized, well, I got myself to this place, so I get to just go back to being me. And basically, I just did what I believed in and what I loved, and I followed my heart.
In 2010, the 29-year-old returned to NYU to finish his degree in acting. The same year, Ben produced and starred in the indie film We Are the Hartmans, a romantic comedy co-starring veteran actor Richard Chamberlain.
Get away! Hey! You pushed me!
You pushed me first!
I'm pregnant!
I didn't push your stomach!
That's enough. You're coming with me.
More than a decade after he first appeared in those ads, Ben is getting back on track.
I like opening on The Pizza Guy, too. Looking back on Dell now, it's definitely not the highest point in my career. I think that's still to come. I know it's still to come. That was just the beginning for me. If you thought that character was great, you haven't seen anything yet. I swear, I know. I'm gonna grow up now, I promise. All right, that. I'm Ben Curtis. Thanks a lot, guys. Have a great night.
From obscurity to celebrity in 30 seconds. Keep checking those commercials. You might just discover the next big Hollywood star.